Hey guys, welcome to the boat. So if you follow any kind of the Greek news, then you know we have been experiencing a heat wave for over a week now. Pretty much most of the time I've been on the boat, and I'm not super heat tolerant, so this has not been like the greatest experience in terms of heat. So therefore I haven't filmed a lot because we really haven't been doing a lot. We've just been sort of swimming and chilling on the boat. But I wanted to get back to filming and show you this really beautiful bay that we are anchored in for the night before we head into the Gulf of Corinth. And it's really beautiful. We thought we'd be the only people here, but apparently it's super popular. There are boats everywhere. And then starting tomorrow, we are heading into the Gulf to make our way back to Athens so that I can get out of the heat. Here are some of the other boats. Not a lot. Not a lot by a lot of what we've seen, but a lot for this bay. It's over there. They have beach umbrellas. The reviews online are really good. We are not going over there though, because we're gonna cook on the boat and enjoy the sunset. As you can see, the sunrise was just as stunning as the sunset, and we've been seeing them a lot on this trip because we've been getting up so early to beat the heat and try to make it back to Athens as quickly as possible. I will put the name of this bay down in the description box because I can't pronounce it. All right guys, it's the next day. We've been sailing already for about 6.5 hours. We left very early this morning. I hope you can hear me over the engine. There's no wind yet again, part of the reason we're having a heat wave. And we are about to pass under the Rio Bridge outside of Paxos, which for a long time was one of the longest cable bridges in the world. It's not anymore, but it's still really cool. If you're sailing through here, you do have to radio them out and let them know that you're coming, because then they tell you where under the bridge you're supposed to go. So we've already done that, and we're just getting a little bit closer. But obviously, motoring and not having any wind, we're going slow. But we're still having a good time. It's really beautiful. The water is stunning. Let me show you. It may not show up on camera, but it's this sort of deep blue with a little bit of green tone, and it's super clear. You can kind of see it's super hazy, and that's because the water over here is much cooler than it was over the Ionian. Over there it was like 27, 28, and here it's 25. So the humidity is quite high. My hair is not loving it. So it's off in the distance there. It's kind of hard to see on the video. Pretty easy, and there's very little traffic right now, so I don't know if that is because of the time of day that we're here or if this is normal. I have been through here before, but I was asleep. So anyway, you just call ahead, they tell you which way to go. It's all easy peasy. We have made it now to Galaxidi, and unfortunately, it's really late in the day. We have sailed all day, and we are not going to even attempt to dock in the marina because we know it's full, and I can see it from here, and it's very, very full. And we need petrol, so we are going to go dock in a bay near a petrol station so we can go get some. This little beach is our sleeping spot for the night. We're gonna get petrol in the morning, and maybe, hopefully, explore the town for just a little bit before it gets too hot and we have to start out, because tomorrow we're hoping to make it all the way to Corinth so that on Sunday we can go through the canal. As you can see, it's another early morning here on the boat. The sun is just rising. We may not make it into Galaxidi. Yesterday was a very, very long day for us, and we have 2 more long days. Not quite as long, but long days in front of us. And I know we're both really tired. This was an amazing spot to sleep last night. There was almost no swell, no wind. The wind is not great because it was a little hot, but it did cool off eventually. But no swell, is amazing because the boat does not rock back and forth. You may be wondering why I'm facing this direction and not towards the sunrise. That's because for a brief moment, I laid out here on the deck to try to sleep out here. And off in the distance, up in the hills, I could see Delphi lit up. Not the archaeological site, this city, but we were very close to Delphi. In fact, Aegean, which is just up that bay there, I believe, is a place where a lot of people sail to and then go to Delphi from there. You can go from here as well, but it's a little bit easier from Aegean. We did walk into town after all. Well, we rode into town. It is already getting hot, so we're gonna do this very quickly. We're gonna just show a little bit of the town, and then we are going to hopefully get some soda and some groceries and maybe a coffee and be on our saily way. I really love how cute this town is. It's really beautiful. All the little buildings are beautiful. And look at all the sailboats. So absolutely lovely. What I love about this place is the nature. And then there's this lovely cafe. And if you walk up that way, you can actually walk down to the water and swim. And when we were sailing in, we could smell the pine trees. It was amazing. I saw this the last time I was here, but it's still here and it's super cute. They've made a little house for the ducks that live here, and they are sitting on it. Last time I came, there were a lot more ducks, but maybe they're off somewhere cooler because it's already hot. Probably the smallest archaeological site you've ever seen. It just says archaeological site. I think it's actually the city wall. It's a little bit fallen down, but that's my best guess. And sadly, that's it. We gotta get going because we have a long ways to go today. But we had a coffee, we got groceries, we petted a cute dog, and now it's time to go. I keep saying every time I come here that I'm gonna come back and spend more time here, so I've got to do that. I have been lucky enough to go through the Gulf of Corinth twice now and see dolphins on both trips, and every time I am in awe. They are just stunning creatures. We arrived in Corinth and spent the night there before going into the canal very early the next morning. If you've not done this, you have to call ahead on the radio and tell them that you're coming. And because we were the smallest boat, we had to wait. So we had to go around in circles, waiting for it to be our turn to enter the canal. Then you have to go top speed through the canal, which is fine. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking until you're in it and you realize you've made it past this bridge that's also a road. In 2021, the Corinth Canal had a landslide, and they've been making repairs in the winter and then only opening for a few months in the summer. That's what you see here. They're resurfacing, it looks like, and there's lots of safety measures in place. But it's still a sort of weird, eerie feeling to have these tall rocks above you as you sail through, but it's definitely beautiful. Good morning from the other side of the Corinth Canal. That was a little bit stressful this morning. If you didn't notice in the video, we had lots of swell on the other side, and because we were the smallest boat, we had to wait for everyone to go through, so we had to keep circling in the swell, which was not great fun. But once we got into the canal, it's usually very calm because it's so high, and the current and the waves from the other side actually helped push us through a little bit, which was kind of nice because we need all the help we can get. We are now on the other side. We are paying. So if you've never done this, you do have to pay to go through the Corinth Canal. It is the most expensive canal in the world, just based on mileage, because it's only 4 kilometers long, I believe. It's not very long. It only takes about 40 minutes to go through. And there were 3 boats ahead of us. 2 had gone in about 20 minutes before us, and then another one came, and a pilot had to get on because they were towing their tender for a while. I'm not really sure what their plan was I don't think they can tow their tender through the canal. So now we go to Athens, and this is the last leg, and today is supposed to be the hottest day of the heat wave so far. Then it cools down a little bit, and then it comes back. So, and it's really not cool. Like, it's just getting into the upper 90s instead of being in the hundreds. So it's just been a miserable July. And this is where it is, where you go pay. Obviously, I'm not the captain, so I'm not 100% sure of all the paperwork, but he needed my passport. You need your transit log and boat insurance, and I'm sure some other things. Anyway, he's got it all, and he's over there. Now, sometimes there are dogs here. There was a dog that came up after we had already docked. Sometimes they can be aggressive, but it's fairly early in the morning, so they kind of left us alone. Unfortunately, on the other side, we hit some bad weather, and I did not film at all much because it was very rocky. So that's going to be it this week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the end of my sailing trip, and I'll see you guys in the next adventure.